Hello and welcome back to the STARNES'S storeroom. Today we're discussing all the camouflage patterns that were introduced in the 2000s. At the beginning of the millennia, all of the United States Armed Forces were using primarily the same two patterns of camouflage. This isn't really considered a problem by most people, but for the Marine Corps it was. So in the early 2000s, they set about creating their own pattern of camouflage. The main aim of creating these new patterns of camouflage was to create a uniform that was more identifiable as a Marine uniform, but also to produce something that was more effective in the field. Simply to be seen, but also not to be seen. There is some argument about the development of the pattern, some stating it was independently trialled and developed, and others saying it was copied from CADPAT, which was introduced into the Canadian Armed Forces in 1996. Nonetheless, whatever the case was, many trials were conducted over several years, and MARPAT was introduced in late 2002. The design is a simple button-up closure with two pockets, one on each sleeve, fastened with buttons, and two chest pockets fastened by Velcro. The front pockets were mounted at an angle for easy access while wearing body armour, such as an OTV. This said was to be an issue with the older BDU. Both uniforms shared the use of khaki brown to allow the use of a singular colour of body armour, such as the OTV. Following the US Marine Corps' lead, the US Army started development of their very own pattern of camouflage in 2002. Unlike the US Marine Corps, this uniform was to be a singular pattern which would supposedly work well in any environment. However, this was not the case at all, which will be the topic of another video. Many trials were conducted over several years where different camouflage patterns were trialled against each other. However, UCP did not take part in any of these trials. This leaves a lot of people wondering, how did it come about? The official statement is it is a combination of several of the camouflage patterns that were trialled. Others say it was just another copy of CADPAT, but I'll let you decide that. It is also said that the uniform may have been selected because senior military leaders liked UCP. Nonetheless, the pattern began being issued in 2005. The design used the Army combat uniform with a mandarin collar, Velcro pockets which allowed patches to be easily attached, a front zipper, two slanted pockets which, like the MARPAT, allows for easy access when wearing body armour, and a front rank patch. Also, interestingly, I found this uniform with my own name on it, just by chance, so I had to buy this one. Like the Army and the Marine Corps, the Air Force also wanted to move away from the old battle dress uniform, so in 2003 they began developing their own. Several patterns were trialled over many months. However, the camouflage pattern that was selected was not trialled as heavily as the other previous patterns. This may be down to the similarities in the design of the US Army's UCP. In 2007, the US Air Force introduced the Airman Battle Dress uniform and slowly started replacing the older BDUs. The design was very reminiscent of the old BDU, with new features such as a map pocket on the inside. This is different to both MARPAT and UCP, continuing with the older design cut instead of the angled pockets. Around the same time as the Air Force announced that they were going to start the development of a new pattern, the Navy followed in pursuit. 4 different uniforms were trialled for around 6 months. Eventually one was selected, and this was the Navy Work Uniform A variant. This began to be introduced in early 2009. The design was similar to the BDUs, having a pointed collar and chest pockets, but also had some similarities to MARPAT, having sleeve pockets and a small service emblem embedded in the camouflage pattern. The pattern was also designed to hide stains and other forms of dirt which would be found on a ship. So that's that anyway. In future videos we're going to be discussing what replaced these uniforms. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. And remember to like it if you have, and remember to subscribe. See you next time.